Welcome, viewing several once again. I don't know what episode number this is. I think it's 50 something. My little series I like to call Hands Up. Who loves a train set? Me, obviously. Right, so this one, I've not done so many sets recently. There's been a reason for that. And I've bought a lot of really poor condition sets. And it's taken me a while to get some of them to even run. This one is no exception, but there are far worse ones than this. So if you think about, I bought 5 or 6 train sets for, you know, less than £100. Some of them are going to be pretty bad. So they're fun to get running. So as always, there are going to be links in the description if you want to skip the waffly bits. So we're going to review today the Freightmaster from Triang-Hornby, which is one of the best sets that they did, I think, at the time. So let's get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the set itself, what I got when I bought it, and how I tried to get it running, and also we're going to see it running. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff going on here. This is one of a really nice set. So but it wasn't quite what I thought when I bought it. So we'll go through it all, and you can always skip with the chapters if you want to get to the bit where we do the running. So here we go. First of all, I'll talk a little bit about this set. So this came out in 1964, and in it was four years, and then in 1965, 6, 7, 8, 1968 they changed this to the blue one, blue liveried class 31, although it wasn't called the class 31 at the time. Now, when I bought this set, this has been put together with various bits over the years. So this is the one I got. So that was the one I got. Same, but with the blue livery. But this has been, I've had a lot of problems getting this to work. I got it running and I was filming it, and it's died. I don't quite know exactly why, but the thing is, when I looked at the box lid, it wasn't even the right one. So I've got my green one out, and the green one I have had for a while, and that was in even worse condition, and I got that running, and that one runs fine. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. So from 1964 to about 67, I think it was this, and then they dropped the definite article, so it just became Freightmaster, and you got the blue version of this, and that carried on till the early 70s. And then after that, the Freightmaster set became it was very similar, but it was the high mech locomotive, which had come out that by then, which was probably a big improvement on this, because this one is the old-fashioned one. So let's have a look inside the box. Right, so when I got this, I mean, the box is in poor condition, but by this time they were doing plastic trays. So maybe this is anachronistic, I don't know, but these ones had the Triang-Hornby name for 2 years. The first 2 years they were just Triang Railways, but they always had the Super 4 track. Now the Super 4 track for me is the perfect train set track. It's coarse, it's heavy, it goes together well. After 60 plus years it still works, and you can just clean it up easily, and it holds together. Now after this track, what Hornby did was they brought in their much more fine scale track, and the first version of that, which if you look at one of my other videos, the fish plates are tiny and it doesn't hold together well, and as a small child it's one of the worst tracks you could possibly have. It's probably good if you want to make a scale model and you nail it down, but for me this track is absolutely brilliant. I love this track as a train set track. You can set this up all day, pack it away again, set it up again. It never lets you down and it stays in shape. So anyway, let's have a look at the loco. So we got this. Now I've substituted this one because this is what this set should have had, which is what they called the A1A locomotive. So later to become the brush type 2, later to become the class 31. So when I got this one, this was in terrible condition and I had to replace a lot of the pieces to get the motor running. I'm going to show some things that I did for the other motor, as I did get it running and it was terrible, but it died on me during the filming. And then when, as I say, when I looked at the box, I could see this box lid was one of the earlier ones which had the green livery. So I thought, well, I'll just use this. I originally thought I was just going to take the motor bogie out of this and put it in the blue one just to do the filming. But I spent all day trying to get the blue one running, and it ran, and then it's packed up. So there you go. Anyway, the wagons here are quite nice. So this one, you can see they have sides that go down, quite nice. You've got this one, Triang Toys, pedigree prams. You've got the standard 20-ton brake van. You've got a horse box, another animal box, maybe that's a parcel box. The only anomaly is this one, which is, I think that would be a United Dairies thing with a ladder on. I think this has been replaced. And then we've got this one, and I had a set in the 70s which had these same mouldings on, but they were black. And yeah, so they basically, as a child I found it difficult to get them to stick on, and even now as an adult I'm still struggling. Anyway, there you go. So that's that. But yeah, when I got it, we had the 2 long straights, but we were missing 3 of these. But I've got a really big box of all this track, so I'm quite happy to buy sets without any track or whatever, and I can put them back, or just for the purposes of this video I can. So yeah, look at this set though. Look how many wagons you get. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a brake van. You've got a long bogie diesel. I mean, these things are pretty crude compared to today's standard, because there's no pickup on here. It's all on here. It is literally that bogie. But, you know. Right, here we are on the track. Let's just adjust that slightly. Yeah, this is the best bit, isn't it? We've got a beer. We're going to play trains. So, I'll put the wagons here. Let's get this to come round and pick them up. Right, let's pull away. A little bit slowly to start with. Looking good. Probably going to sound very noisy. Let's see how that's looking on the camera. That looks okay. I'm struggling to get all of it in. Right, so as you can see, it's quite a small loop, but some people say this is a tail chaser, but I love that. I mean, look at the amount of wagons you've got. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a brake van, and you've also got a full-length diesel. You'd be the king of the school if you had this. Back in 1965 or whenever it's from. So yeah, this is great. Now, this is the first radius that you get with it. And it goes round absolutely fine. The actual loco itself is a little bit strained, but it's not too bad. Now I've got lots of passenger sets from this thing with bogie carriages, and they will go round, train runs, they will go round, but they are stretched. So for me, this freight set is the ultimate. It's the longest train with short wagons that will go round no problem. Let's see if we can. Okay, so that's full silk on the H and N flipper, but really, you know, I quite like to just run it like that, really, and that's lovely. The number of wagons is awesome. So it's been a while since I've had this thing set up. Mainly because serious flare up of arthritis, on steroids again. So I haven't really been able to. I've got 4 or 5 sets that I need to review, but they've all been absolute trash, and I've had to work on them. So it's taken me longer than I thought. In the end, this set has got this is a loco I've already done and fixed, and it actually matches this set. The one I got with it was the later blue livery one, and to be honest, I fixed it, it was working, and now it's failed again, and it needs more work. But some of these bogies, I think the rotor arm on it is absolutely worn out. But it's not as old as this one. But yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Look at that. Let's just slow it right down. We can try out the decoupler here. So let's decouple the train. There you go, look. So that's how the set comes. It comes with one of those automatic decouplers. There's no sidings. I've actually got some sidings I could do as a Brucey bonus, but let's break the train here. See if we can do that. Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to work. These decouplers are pretty good. Okay, we'll go for the next one. See if we can decouple the petrol tank. There we go. So, you know, it does work. And that's, well, that's more than 60 years old, so. I'm a big fan of this track and these things. You feel like you're driving something quite substantial when you play with these. As much as I love my modern Japanese N-gauge, it's really reliable and there's no sense of inertia, and it just goes round and round, and you could be watching it on a screen. This thing is loud, you can feel the vibrations from it. It's the same as the Hornby Double O. You feel like you're actually driving something substantial. So that is rather nice. So what have we got coming up? Well, I've got some sets that I can't do on here because they're too big, and I need to do them on the floor in another room. I've also got some Lima Ren N-gauge, and the trouble I've had with that you wouldn't believe, because the wheel flanges are so deep they won't run on any other N-gauge track, so I'm going to have to get the original track working, which is it's possible. It's just a bit more work than I thought. So let's just slow that down a little bit. Now it's warmed up. See if it will fall. So yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? Given how old this is, it's pretty good. Like I say, this one is one I rebuilt recently. It was in more of a mess than the one I got in the set, which wasn't the correct loco and was in very, very poor condition. But we'll talk about that in the earlier bits. But for now, that I like. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll do some running shots. Let's bring it to a halt.